In the last pod, the question for that one was, what is the most practical action I can use right now to bring me back to the present moment? I have to get out of your mind and into your body more. In sitting down, sit on the floor, breathe with your diaphragm more, deeper breaths in sync with stretching. There's like no space or room at all for that little chatterbox to be going, did I leave the kettle on? When you're amid proper deep breath, like slow, steady, and in a mid stretch as well, there is just straight awareness, just here, right now. There is no little chatter. It might sneak through. Try pop his head, knock on a window, like as soon as you finish a stretch. But when you just go into a next stretch, now maybe you can influence that window knocker to be like, what stretch now? I don't know, make it up as you go along. And then they try carry on, start talking about some other crap, and you just go back into this breath. Go back into the stretch. And yeah, stick with it. It's just gonna continuously be going on like that. And then when you want to use it, you have an aim and a target, and it will be there for you to give suggestions. If there's no aim or target, it can very easily start creeping through that window that was left open, and it will start using you. It's really important for yourself to govern your own mind, because if you don't govern it, a shitter version of yourself is going to start governing it for you, or someone else's shitter version of themselves, or in their head their best version of themselves. Probably not pay too much focus on other people, because the real place where it's at is your own battles, really, and your own evil. And because, geez, if that goes unchecked, I don't know, things can get really messy, because that evil within is a beautiful manipulator. and if it can have its own way, it will do nothing but have you spending your time focusing and pointing your fingers at all of the evil outside of yourself and other people. And the more you practice doing that, the more you don't see your own evil inside yourself, and it will grow, possibly, and grow. Just before the second, slightly long-winded explanation, we have 3 exercises you can do, 3 practical exercises you can do. Stretching, mindfully, more aware, conscious, deeper, smoother breathing, and exercising. I just thought of another one. Do absolutely nothing. Just endure. Sit with it and observe it. Sometimes just the awareness alone is enough. Allow yourself to be taken by the wind of the imagination and the turmoil of times of the emotions, feelings, and do nothing about it but witness it, be the witness of it, have no reaction. But more of a surrendering acceptance of it. And it's all it's nothing but progress, really. You'll just get better and better at learning how to endure all trials and tribulations, and at some point, maybe also just being able to count all joys whilst going through them. I use the metaphor of the valleys of the shadows of death. That's the equivalent of it. You will witness fear and evil. I'm not sure. It's probably best not to, because that's just another trick of the mind again, just going into chasing thoughts again now, and then intellectualizing it. Best to not chase the wind and lean on your own intellect or understanding, so-called understanding anyway. Just sit there, I guess, yeah. Scratch the end part. Just sit there with it, eyes closed, not closed. It's completely up to you, make it your own. In practicing this with patience and consistency, I believe this is the equivalent to what it is to take all thoughts into captivity. I think it was 3 minutes, 10 seconds into this podcast talking about not paying so much attention to others, their lives, and what they're doing. I wanted to insert a quote from Epictetus. I'd highly recommend looking him up, and if you like quotes, to check out some of his quotes. He's pretty up there. Yeah, great guy. Keep your attention focused entirely on what is truly your own concern, and be clear that what belongs to others is their business and none of yours. That's beautiful, man. Deep. I don't know. Common sense, I guess. Even though I don't believe that's very common. But then again, me saying that, is that me keeping entirely concerned on my own concern? Anyway, I think the point is, if you're not continuously coming back to the self and being conscious and aware of where the attention and energy is flowing, it can be very easily for the untamed lower version of ourselves to try to take over and move in very unconscious ways, and trying to point fingers and look out at what other people are doing and judge them, so that lesser version of ourselves lesser version of ourselves doesn't have to look within its own dust under the rug type of stuff. That lesser version, if you like, is just darkness, and it can't stand the light. The darkness is unconscious and unaware, very self absorbed. In the dark, it only believes it is there because it can't see, out of darkness, but the higher self is awareness and more in the light, but the dark can't stand the light because that makes it's because that the darkness is more so in fear, vibration, sort of, and the darkness hates the light. I'm gonna do my best to explain further as the episodes go on. Just seeing another quote I've written down for one of my favourites, Ralph Waldo Emerson. It says, "Shallow men believe in luck or in circumstances. Strong men believe in cause and effect." That evil part inside, the darkness, unawareness, false showcase personality type self, is very shallow and believes in luck and lavishes in the intellect and its feelings and own ignorance, believing that its ignorance is not ignorant at all, complete truth. It's never known real light or truth. Okay, so the shallow men believe in luck, so that darker part believe that, but the light awareness is a bit more so in accountability and cause and effect, responsibility. To keep things a bit more simpler, I'm gonna try stick with the true self and the false self. The false self more so exists in a fear type of vibration, and the true self in a love mindset, mentalities type of lifestyles. The true self is more so in practice and straight being of abundance, observant, grateful, seeks to understand and seeks to create true, genuine communication and connection. It's of a growth sort of mindset and of an acceptance, surrendering. It stands with truth and facts. It remains humble. It's mindful, and it connects. And the false self is more so operating from an ego, fear, showcase, personality type of wanting to control. It's really rooted in scarcity. Instead of observing, it like absorbs. It's like greedy. It's always wanting more. The present moment is never enough for that type of self. It's not that type of self can't live in the present moment. It has to either be in the past or the future, have you rushing around or wanting something else. It always assumes things. It creates fake, toxic connections and fake communication. It's a very fixed black and white mindset. It knows best type thing. There's much shame. There's lots of lies there. It's very prideful, egotistical, pretty mindless, avoidant, and very sabotage-esque. Like it wants to destroy before it gets destroyed itself, because that's all it's ever known, really, and it's what it believes has got them where they are today, when that may not be the case. Okay, it's time for the question of the podcast. I heard this question a while back and I liked it so much I printed it out on an A3 poster and put it on my wall. The question is, if my higher self was rooting me on, what direction would they encourage me to take right now? If it's not too personal, let me know what some of your answers are in the comments below. Alright, I'm going to move on to the podcast, a pod now, and I give a heads up, a one-time heads up. Some of these poems were wrote a year or months and months ago and may be completely irrelevant to any of the subjects that have been spoken about, so now you know. I am beyond me, beyond belief. I am not thoughts, not emotions, and not this body. I am not this phone call, I am not of this time, beyond any present moment, not the mold to fit in presented by others. I am not the book, not the rhythm, not this next life. That was pretty funny how the whole sort of tone changed and everything. I might start doing a word podcast as well. Also, random thought quote sort of came. Heard it a while ago anyway. It was something along the lines of, I don't know. If you have friends, make sure first that they are happy or content with their own lives or something like that. Otherwise, they'll misery loves company sort of thing. And they drag you down into their little suffering pit hole and try to destroy you for it. 'Cause there's lots of envy and jealous. Their full self kind of runs the show there. So yeah, so it was something along the lines anyway. The word for this podcast is apricity. Apricity. Apricity is a rare and lovely word to describe the warmth of the winter sun on your face. The warmth of the sun, especially in winter or on cold days. Apricity. That's nice, isn't it? Okay, I'm just gonna wrap it up with some more quotes. How long are you going to wait before you demand the best for yourself? If you're not lighting any candles, don't complain about being in the dark. Avoid those who avoid themselves. They will make you carry what they refuse to face. You must remember to chase not the butterfly. Cultivate your own garden. If the butterfly comes, it is yours. If not, your garden still blooms. I like that. I kind of like the idea of a butterfly farm as well. What's that? What is that called when you put like little pins in insects? I'd like the idea of that as well. Going back to the garden, this quote comes to mind from it. Maybe your garden isn't growing because every time a flower grows, you cut it to prove to someone that you're a gardener. A lot of people preaching this self-love sort of thing. If you want to practice a bit more true healthy self-love, nothing to do with the exterior, but part of that is you not developing the habit of trying to prove things to others. More so, maybe to your future self. I like that. If you're going to pick some flowers up, sometimes just show them to yourself. Keep that between you and yourself. Enjoy.